Hey you guys, I'm back. Welcome to the Psychic News Network. It's Monday, July 21st, 2025. I'm using StreamYard tonight. It's a little bit different, but I like that they can give you a kind of a heads up that we're going to be on just in case you forget. Somebody decided to do some high-pitched drilling next door. As soon as they stop, I need to open that window. It's always something. Can you hear me okay? Do I need your help campaigning in Ward 2? You all know how frustrated I have been. Yes, you do. When one thing doesn't work out, we just go in a different direction. You can hear me. Oh, good. Okay, great. I have my microphone on. I am pouring myself an athletic brew, my favorite NA beer, because I deserve it and you deserve whatever you're drinking. I hope it's good. Okay, well, let's get to the craziness. I was lamenting earlier on Off the Ledge that I felt my enthusiasm had waned. Warren, you're in New York City. I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Anyway, thank you for offering. I've been threatening for some time that I was going to run for city council in my city. And when I read an article in the local paper saying that these candidates, these incumbents on our city council here have been running uncontested, I had had enough. So today, really like 3:30 this afternoon, I called a friend that I went to school with who's been on the city council and is probably going to run again. And he just kind of gave me a little bit of the drill, like this is what you do. So I went right up the street and I have until June 29th. I got my nomination papers to run for city council against the incumbent. I think I could do a better job. So I've been talking about it, and I put my money where my mouth is. I'm the one that's out there in the parades, democracy, 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 on my channel, democracy, 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 right? So when we find out that people are running uncontested, and gosh, I can think of people that have been in our government in Massachusetts for decades, enough of that. Mary said, cool, I will win. Yeah, so I need 50 signatures from people that are in my my ward here, and then we'll see. Yeah, I should let them all know how many endorsements I have on YouTube. All right, so right before I turned the live stream on, I was listening to, Obama used to say it's crazy season. It's silly season. He would say it's silly season. So, if you guys could vote for me, I'd totally win. So it's silly season, and I think I'll get on the city council. I do. I think I know the drill, most of it. I know how it works. I grew up here. So apparently they did not know what to do about this. I'm getting all their lies confused in my head. They didn't know what to do about the Epstein stuff, that they need to do something. So now, what are they doing? They're making up a story that's just so not believable, but is so disturbing. They're making up a story that Obama, I don't know. Do you guys know what they're making? The lie is so convoluted, it's hard to put it together. So, I'm seeing if I can put it together in my mind. So they're saying that Obama Oh no, what it is, it's about the Russian collusion, right? Russia, Russia, Russia. They're so convoluted, I don't know how they follow their own lies. So it's Russia, Russia, Russia. Okay. So here's the thing. They're saying that Obama committed seditious conspiracy or something. Um, and that they made up the story that Russia meddled in the election. Can anybody put this together in their heads? Because it's such a giant lie, and you know, the whole theory about the big lie is you make it so big and so unbelievable that eventually people go, this happens. Oh, that's so outrageous, it must be true. The Obamas, much to their dismay, invited Dumpy and Melania to the White House. They attended the inauguration. They just kind of, you know, probably just held back a lot of emotions. But they went ahead and let him. They went ahead and, you know, they didn't try to prevent him from going into the White House like Dumpy did, and they're actually calling it the conspiracy theorists, the deranged Dumpy is saying. See how confusing this is? That Obama was trying to conduct a coup. Yeah, Russia did meddle in our election. It's in the Mueller report that Bill Barr redacted so heavily that it was probably like the word and the and as and for, right? So let's ask the pendulum if that's going to be believable. You heard Obama just laughed about it. And it's so disturbing in the sense that this is exactly what they do in fascist regimes. This is exactly what they do. And I'm going to tell you something that's really true. We have been an established, strong, despite all the flaws and the imperfections and the corruption, we have been a strong, well-rooted democracy for 249, almost 250 years, and they think that they're going to just turn it overnight into a fascist regime a la Kim Jong-un. Tulsi needs to go down for this one. I thought I was reading Electrostorm. I read somehow Tulsi needs to lie down, but you said Tulsi needs to go down for this lie. She needs to go lie down, if you ask me. Let's ask this. Okay, so I was in Salem over the weekend because I worked there, and I went to the Harry Potter store. Yes, there's a Harry Potter store in Salem, and I went there because I had a couple of people that came for tea leaf readings, and they had just come from the Harry Potter store, and they showed me what they bought, and they bought this incredible pendulum, so I had to run over there and get one. Check out this pendulum. It is amazing. It has like a copper coil and different pieces of stone and a plastic molding and a tree of life, and so far it's a powerful one. You want one? I'm trying to remember the name of the store. If you type in, and I'll let you know next time, Harry Potter store in Salem, Mass, it'll probably pop up. It's the store next to it is Salem Remembers, and it's both. You all want one? They'll love me. And it's both stores side by side, same owner. And they do ghost tours out of that store also. And I applied to be a tour guide. I'm on fire. So we're gonna ask the pendulum What percentage of MAGA is going to believe this preposterous story that Obama conducted a coup in the form of claiming that Russia interfered in the election in 2016? So they have to go back to 2016 to make up some kind of a... I guess they wore everything out. They wore everything else out that they could make up a lie about. It seems like it. All right. I don't know if this is a Harry Potter pendulum. It just they just have them there. I didn't watch the Harry Potter movies. I know it's probably hard to believe, but did they have pendulums? They had wands. It's actually a wand store. Okay, so, and maybe I can order a bunch of them for you if you all want me to ask them. What percentage of MAGA is going to believe this particular lie that Obama was colluding and orchestrating a coup in 2016? How many MAGAs? What percentage? We'll actually just go on a scale of 1 to 10. Is it 1 right now? 2, 3, 4. It's like half of them. So we get all the money we need from Russia, right? Didn't Don Jr. say that? Okay, let's ask again. Just to make the question more specific, what percentage of MAGA believes that Obama was orchestrating a coup in the form of Russian collusion theories? What percentage of MAGA right now currently believes that? 1, 2, 3. So about 30% are buying it. Okay, we're not going to talk about the author of the Harry Potter series because that's kind of beside the point. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's ask another pendulum question. Are they actually going to investigate Obama for this? I have a no. Obama stole your manicotti. Hey, Damon. That sounds good right now. All right. Manicotti sounds good. Okay, so let's do this. All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how worried is Obama that this is just going to turn into something? 1, how worried is he? 2, about 30%. He's worried about the crazy MAGAs, the 30%, but that's not very high. Okay. And the author of the Harry Potter series, I don't know, I don't remember her name. Not really interested in her name, but she had problems. You know, you don't know what happens to people, right? Sure, we can all think of people, especially in the public eye, that used to be sane and turned a little crazy. There's somebody in the field of metaphysics. I won't mention her name, but she used to be an angel person, and she was really well known. But I won't mention her name because that would be, you know, not right. But I'll just say that she used to be a really powerful and inspiring angel reader, and then she just completely flipped. And my theory is that, I mean, she's kind of calling this stuff like of the Satan and the demons and all this, and it's so interesting. She's kind of renounced all the... Do you guys know who I'm talking about? She just kind of wanted nothing to do with anything to do with using your intuition or readings or angels or anything, and she just turned like really extreme Christian. So we've seen people change like that, and I wonder if J.K. Rowling's just kind of flipped out. I can't tell you who, but there was somebody... I have her angel cards. She was really famous. She used to be on Hay House. Anyway, let's I'm going to open that window because it sounds like they stopped drilling. Let's take a look at the nefarious cards. So people like, just going back to that, what they're claiming, and I mean, there's some pretty serious stuff going on in our country and in the world that needs to be addressed. And I just love that we're spending time just chasing these stupid made up things. Yeah, Michelle has it. Michelle put the name of the person that used to be an angel woman, and she changed her hair color, and just really it's criticizing people that do the work that she used to do. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Right. Darren saying that she went to this woman I'm referring to went to the dark side, kind of, right? To turn people into people that do the work that she did into like terrible monsters or something. Dad joke, I boiled a funny bone. It was laughing stock. It was humorous. That's pretty good. Michael's saying, I think that with J.K. Rowling, after she got super rich, she cared more about money than anything else. I think people's traumas come up. And the person that I'm referring to, the one that was like the angel woman, sometimes it's past lives. And my theory about that person was that she had a past lifetime where her life was in danger because she was being accused of being a witch, and she had to convert, because that's what happens with past lifetimes is we have impressions from past lifetimes that we kind of act out, the strongest impressions. Someday I'll teach a past life class and I'll talk all about that. What about those Miss Cleo psychics? You heard they're really cuckoo. Damon, I was a Miss Cleo psychic. I told you that, didn't I? That's how long I've been doing this. Thomas has a dad joke. My wife told me it would be really fun to drink someone else's hot beverage. I said, no thanks, that's not my cup of tea. But bum. 3 cards about Dumpy. I'm really glad that we get together for so many reasons, and one of the main reasons is that, especially lately, it just keeps getting grosser, right? Am I right? It just keeps getting more and more gross. The energy in the collective of, like, it's just gross. I don't know how else to describe it. Thank you, Zircon, for promoting me. So we're pulling 3 cards about Dumpy. It's really gross. Have I said it was gross? Dumpy. 7 of Swords. This is that he's trying to steal. So you saw them mock the AI generated. It's like you saw the AI generated post that he either reposted or had somebody do. I think he reposted it. Dumpy, of an AI generated meeting in the White House with Obama. Did you guys see this? I'm sure you did. And they had like I don't know, there's police come in and tackle Obama and arrest him, and Dumpy's like smiling. Boy, Dumpy is Satan. He is Satan. Yeah. Yeah, posted by a president, unreal. And that's what I mean. It's getting really disgusting. I did see it, and the funniest thing about that is that's exactly what needs to happen to Dumpy. Exactly. That's the fantasy that we all have in our minds, that all the crimes against our country, and now the crimes against humanity, that he's overtly committing, like he's addicted to how many more crimes he can commit. There's never enough crimes for him, on and on and on. And he posts an AI generated little video clip of Obama getting arrested, and you know that he's like smiling because he's such an effing racist, besides being so jealous of Obama. It's really incredible. So the cards that I have is, yes, he's trying to steal Obama's thunder, basically. This Mercury retrograde is unleashing all kinds of information that he can no longer refute, His time is coming to an end. And that's what Kathy Beale says too. I tried to rally her for tonight, but she was busy. Let me just break quickly to say, please hit the thumbs up. And you got to let me know, because I'm using StreamYard tonight. Let me know when we have 200 thumbs up. Let me know if there's any Wi-Fi issues, too. Six of Pentacles, he's trying to cover up. This is interesting, because there's guilt in a certain way, or fear of being, the truth being revealed, about January 6, 2021. And so I'm reading on Dumpy, and the Ten of Wands, he's carrying a really heavy burden. Yeah, no Wi-Fi issues. The only reason I ask is sometimes the numbers start dropping, so. Yeah. Yeah. And Dumpy's nightmare is that he'll be arrested. Yeah. So, it's crazy. It's crazy. So the Seven of Swords is he has a one-track mind that he just needs to steal. I want to just say steal the airwaves. Right? Oh, and Kathy Beale did a chart on Stephen Colbert's chart. She did a show. Ten of Wands, he's really burdened. Oh my gosh, so burdened. So burdened. Dumpy. Poor baby, I feel so bad for Trump not. Electra Storm. Yeah, we all feel the same. I wouldn't want to be him. Donnie says he's basically throwing noodles against the wall, and probably ketchup too. Yeah. It's, if you step back, it's pretty fascinating how much they're trying to make stuff up. It's just, it's just unbelievable. And highly disturbing. Highly disturbing. So let's pull 3 cards. I was looking for my deck of character, but you know me, I'm always moving my cards around. Let's pull 3 cards on some nefarious characters in this fascist regime. Can you imagine having to work in the White House right now, Damon saying? You're asking that question. I'm actually tuning in what it's like. What I see when I tune into the People's House right now. Let's remember it's the People's House. Let's remember that we're in a democracy. I don't care what those, even the pro-democracy channels say. We're in an authoritarian regime. We're in a fascist regime. Yeah, we say that to describe what's going on, but we are a democracy. But when I tune into the People's House, the White House, I actually see a lot of drugs. I actually see, you know, like what was going on before, what was found before. It was a pill mill. According to Kathy Beale, it will be crazy this month and finally calm down next month for us, but not for Trump. It's hard for me to imagine things calming down, but I think we do need to be calming ourselves down. I do think that we really need to imagine calm. Yes, Damon saying, I bet he's so evil. Yes, he is. And I've said it before, and I just want to say again, the way that Dumpy holds himself is very reptilian. Can I imagine how much ketchup on the walls? So I'm gonna pull 3 cards about him once again. You know what I mean? The reptilian brain, the amygdala brain. And do you remember a while back there were all these MAGA conspiracy theories saying that the Democrats were like lizard people? Everything is projection. I don't know what they're doing next door. It sounds like a huge mosquito. So 3 cards about more about that, about his state. The state that he's in. Six of Swords again. He's actually worried about January 6th. I don't know why. Oh, I have the Justice card. Interesting. So isn't it interesting that they're actually, these conspiracy theorists are saying that, Obama conducted a coup. And I think they're lumping Biden in with that too, and Hillary. I think so. I've never seen anyone so evil either, Rita W. So it's pretty interesting to me that I'm picking up that Dumpy is worried about people finding out about January 6th. Isn't that weird? Kathy is saying because J6 can put him in prison. I need to unpack that. Because I've just gotten it twice, and it's like Justice and the Six of Swords and the Two of Cups. Oh, that is weird. But the Two of Cups indicates that there's some kind of an agreement going on that it's going to be revealed. Now I have to think about how that was left. Because Dumpy ran for POTUS because he didn't want to go to prison. You guys need to help me out here. How did the January 6 investigations go away? Well, they went to the background. Huh. Well, let's ask the pendulum. And you guys are going to tell me when we have 200 thumbs up, right? Because that's when we do a group hug. January 6th is treason. But remember, the Republicans took over Congress and buried it. Damon's saying, so if, anything buried can be dug up. And then SCOTUS, who does the opposite of what their job is, said he had presidential immunity, right? So, January 6th investigation was stopped because he was running, but with the understanding it can be revived. Oh, when he leaves office. Oh. Okay, now I'm remembering. Everything was given to Is it gonna reemerge? Yeah, Jules Ever After is commenting a little after I was talking about that angel woman. Yep, that's the person. And I was just saying about her that I was talking about people that completely change. Yeah. Is something going to happen with the January 6th investigation? Yes. What if he dies? Gloria's saying? Well, we're all going to die. Marge, I've read on the Ivana casket so many times, and, just take me with a grain of salt, but I always got that. Now, there could be something else to it, but I did get to she legitimately fell down the stairs. And I remember doing a PNN a long time ago when she had just passed and she was buried in the golf course. It's so awful. And everyone, we spent like an hour on the topic of is there something in her casket? And I kept getting there wasn't anything there. The Supreme Court bailed him out. I'm reading wrong tonight. You bailed him out, yes. Mercury's retrograde. I'm seeing backwards. I'm going to ask about these conspiracy theorists and these right-wing extremists that are being paid by Russia. That's a fact that has been investigated, that has been outed, that, I'm not going to mention names, but the extreme right-wing extremist channels that were, they probably still are, getting like tens of thousands of dollars from the Kremlin to just spew conspiracy theories. I'm going to read on what happens to them. What happens to them? Will Trump make it to his meeting in London this fall with King Charles? I don't feel like he will. His health is definitely getting worse. And with all that swelling in his legs and ankles, that's really bad to fly. So I'm reading on all these conspiracy theorists. and whether this is really going to work for them. I don't think that the American people in general really are interested in rehashing things that happened 10 years ago. That are like a non-story because it's all made up. Is J.D. Vance going to Britain in September instead of Trump? Well, hang on. First things first. We're only in July. The conspiracy theorists, Queen of Wands, Three of Wands, they will try to build something, but the Hierophant indicates that there's going to be so much going on legally that is, and I mean actually legally, with the judges. Remember how many judges, Joe Biden appointed a lot of judges before he left his term. Remember that? Remember that? You heard it come out today from the White House that Trump's health is getting worse. Is this true? That was last week's news. That's old news, Sabrina. The Hierophant indicates that I'm asking about the right-wing extremist channels. The guys that are paid by the Kremlin. And this looks like, I want to say angels of our better nature are going to intervene. I don't know really what I mean by that, but yeah. They're trying to build something, but I really feel the female judges stepping in. I'm asking about the right-wing extremist channels, but I feel like there's going to be so much working against them in terms of reality. So I don't think it's really going to work for them. I see it just like not going anywhere. This conspiracy theory about Obama trying to make up the story about the Russian collusion. And if not for anything, but the fact that Dumpy is bringing it up, he does this a lot. He brings up some kind of problem from the past, some kind of criminal thing that he did, and he digs it up from the past, Dumpy does, and then he like reconfigures it. It's just the weirdest thing. Hey, thank you, Deborah. It's the weirdest thing because he's choosing something he was investigated for, that he was found pretty guilty for doing, and he goes back in history and chooses that thing where he was guilty, and then he convolutes it to turn it into something he projects onto a Democrat. Yeah, he's bringing it up. Let's revive the Mueller. Exactly. It's not too bright. It's not too smart. But anyway, as far as those right-wing channels that are being paid by the Kremlin, and that's factual, it doesn't look like it's going to get any, it's not going to have any legs, really. Yes, they're trying to rewrite history. First he brought up Epstein, and now Russia crap. Does Trump not know he's part of the crime? Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm making the point. I think I'm making a point. My brain is so full of conspiracy theories and lies. He's bringing up the issues where it was proven that he committed a crime. So on that note, I would not be surprised if he turned around and said E. Jean Carroll raped him. I know you might think that that's nuts, but would you be surprised? Thank you, Deborah. Every little bit helps me, for sure. Damon saying, I swear he's essentially a used car salesman. Absolutely, he's a total con. Can you it's not hard to believe that he would say, oh, E. Jean Carroll raped me. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. We only need 20 more thumbs up. Good, you're good. Good, we're getting there. let's ask this. Is E. Carroll going to, is she going to get the money that's owed her? Is she going to get that money that's owed to her? It's kind of undetermined just now. You feel bad for laughing, Electrostorm? Never feel bad for laughing unless you're making a mockery of someone and being mean. And I can't imagine you would do that. Okay. The loud mosquito noise has stopped, so I'm going to just open this window on the side so I don't sweat to death. So talk amongst yourself. Ring the bell? Okay. Hang on, it's just right over here. There is a nice breeze. And there aren't too many motorcycles. But I'm sure there'll be one any second now, just since I opened the window. Alrighty. Even calling Dumpy a used car salesman is an insult to used car salesman, right? Nobody compares to him. Nothing compares to his heinousness. When we had Grassroots of Democracy, that's a shout out to Terry Hall, who's usually here on Fridays, but not on Mondays. Yeah, his heinousness. And I do have, I think Mary's in the room. Let's do a comedic break. His heinousness, because Mary sent me this, spotted at Union Station. Somebody dressed like his heinousness. Hey Warren, did you see that? Thank you, Jackie. Pretty funny. Thank you, Sabrina, for your comment about church yesterday. We had a great church service. Check it out. Church of Spirituality. Yes, that's him. I know. He's just, it's so disturbing how many things are being ignored because we're in this insanity. Oh, we reached 200 for, we're going to do a group hug? You like that? That was his heinousness. That's what I call it. Group hug time. Okay. Thank you for letting me know, since when I'm on StreamYard, I can't see how many thumbs up. You guys rock. And I feel better, because this morning I was really, really discouraged. It happens. Okay, let's do a group hug that all of this heinousness is shut down. That the love and the connectivity and the determination of the American people totally blows this away. Right? Are we good for that? So let's do a group hug, and let's also keep in our minds and our hearts and prayers all the people that are suffering in the concentration camps. Oh my God, I can never believe it when that comes out of my mouth. And all those that are really frightened and struggling. Okay? Thank you for the donation, Marby. Let's do a group hug. 1, 2, 3. I need a hug. We all need a hug. And as we're doing this virtual hug, just imagine our energy being so high and lifting up all the people in this country and the world. Oh, I feel that. That's great. And we're hugging each other. Thank you. Yes, healing to those who are suffering. It's been really, really hard to read about what's going on. We'll read on a few more things. I just want to say that last Thursday, this summer has been busy on Thursday nights. Last Thursday I was at the protest in Portland, Maine for Good Trouble Day in tribute to John Lewis. So for the past 4 Thursdays, I've pre-recorded a guided meditation, and it is under the videos. Please do that guided meditation. there's something in there about shutting down Alligator Alcatraz and all the rest of them. Okay, so let's pull some cards on what good is coming. How about that? You turn on dry bar comedy to get away from the muck. Yeah, that's great. And there's Josh Johnson. Have you checked him out? He's a young comedian that talks about the news and puts a funny spin on it. Like Colbert, like the late shows. And actually, I just read that Josh Johnson is going to host the Daily Show for a few days. So check that out. So let's pull 3 cards about the Democrats. And that includes us. Just about the Democrats. Oh, I didn't know Josh Johnson wrote for the Daily Show. I didn't know that. Thanks for that info. Check him out. He's really funny. Hal Sparks is great too. I have a hard time following Hal Sparks. For that matter, a lot of people have a hard time following me, but we do what we can. Well, you know what? I'm reading on the Democrats. And I have the sun shining on the Democrats. The sun shining its light on the Democrats. And that's moving me to say to all of you this. When you think about the Democrats, let's never... I know none of you do this. But even if it's in your mind, never complain about the Democrats in office, right? If you're going to complain, maybe you should run for office. Yeah, Cliff Cash Comedy, he's doing a great job and he's quite an activist and he works with Jessica Denson. Check out Cliff Cash. He's really serious. It's like he's really serious about saving our democracy and at the same time he's a comedian. So, this... Yeah, Diane, yeah, your dad would have been absolutely appalled at Dumpy. We're gonna blast him out of the water. We're gonna get rid of this regime. Okay, I guess Tulsi wants to get back into Dumpy's good books after being in the doghouse. Yeah, that's probably true. I'm reading on the Democrats and the sun. Whenever you think of a Democrat that's in office, send them light. It reminds me, I had a good call with Seth Moulton's office. I saw Seth Moulton. He's a state rep here. I'm sure you guys know who he is. I saw him questioning Pete Hegseth on a video clip, and he was doing a great job. So I called his office today in Salem, and I said, you know, sometimes you call these places and you do get people to talk to on the phone, like their assistant. So I talked to him for quite a while, and I was impressed. Like, I was impressed that he's doing a lot, and they're really listening. So I've complained about Seth Moulton before, but let's just send them light, right? Let's go to their offices. Let's sit down with them. You want me to read on Tulsi? We'll see. Because what I'm reading about the Democrats is they're really on the ball now. And I'm going to tell you something. This is really true. When we're under pressure, we perform better. Yeah, Seth Moulton. Moulton. Can you guys hear that noise? Excuse me. What the hell is that? Oh my gosh. Sorry, it sounds like a giant mosquito. It's some kind of little hand saw. Anyway. No, it's not that loud for you, Barbara, but it's really loud for me. It's hard to focus. It's hard to do a psychic reading with a giant mosquito buzzing in your ear. Thank you for caring. This means that the Democrats are actually in a place where they're working on something. I'm turning it to the lady in the window. Oh, if you heard how annoying the sound is, you would understand, Damon. I'm sure they don't know I'm having a YouTube show. This looks good. This looks like the Democrats are they're really on top of it. They're really on top of it. So let's give them a lot of support. It's up to us to save our democracy. Let's call our representatives and be cheerleaders. Seriously. You'd be amazed at how many people that are really like not living up to their potential, that once they engage, they really get to see their potential. And I want you all to, I'm going to recommend a book. Yes, everyone is on top of it when their ass is on the line, Damon. Absolutely true. I'm going to recommend a book. It's called Tribe, Tribe, by Sebastian Junger, who wrote The Perfect Storm. That I actually think I like that book the best. And he talks about how, I'm just going to tell you about this briefly. Soldiers that come back from war, sometimes they miss being on the battlefield. They miss it because they had a camaraderie, they had a sense of purpose, they had something that they were all having a common ground, common goal. And that's kind of where we are right now. So we can really have our sharp edge in a really good way. You read that book? Yeah, it's a really good book. It's not a big book. You guys could hear that noise, yeah. Like that. Sounds like a grinder. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Okay, so let's pull 3 cards about Joe Biden because I want to know how Joe Biden is doing. It's really unbelievable, and I want to just say this. In general, the American people loved Obama. We elected him twice, and in general, the American people loved Biden. The really terribly unfortunate thing is that the media, for more than 4 years, bashed Biden every single day. Yeah, they might be redoing wood floors. That's what it looks like. He had panels out there. Yeah, Lisa, check out that book, Tribe. Sebastian Junger was a war journalist. He's one of those people that just loves to take risks. Nice guy. I met him a couple of years ago here. Joe Biden's son is mad for sure. Yeah, of course. Did I hear he was going on some kind of a media tour? Hunter? 3 cards about Joe Biden. Yeah, they were excellent presidents. So the American people, like, we generally don't have anything against them. It doesn't even matter if you're a Democrat or Republican. They did a good job for this country. So I don't know how long this is really going to be effective, if it takes hold at all. That they're saying that they were evil, terrible people. You know, the thing about evil people is that they can't deal with their own evilness, so they have to just put it on someone else. Yeah, the media has been relentless. Yeah, because they're influenced by, you know, our foreign enemy indirectly. Dad joke. Someone told me a joke about a candy bar, but I didn't think it was funny, but I snickered. Sometimes the punchline just catches me off guard. Good one! Good one, Thomas. Joe Biden. He's facing, I mean, he's really, I'm not saying he's going to die soon, but what I'm saying about Joe Biden is he is thinking about his passing. He's thinking about his passing. And he's sad to not this isn't a prediction. I'm just tuning into Joe Biden. He's sad that he's not seeing the fruits of his labor. But the Knight of Pentacles indicates that somebody coming to Biden and giving him some kind of a win. Because the thing is, yeah, the media is owned by oligarchs, absolutely. There's an H on oligarchs after the C. I'm just being the spelling police. Rose is saying Joe is going to outlive Dumpy. You know what? I want to ask about that. Even though I don't predict death. I don't predict the time of a death. Will Joe Biden likely outlive Dumpy? I'm getting a yes. Interesting. Your father got turned into a Fox viewer and then got sucked into the Obama-Biden bashing side of a once wonderful soul. Yeah, that's what cult mind does. It's called a psyop, a psychological operation. The brains of the American people were hijacked. That's factual. Lavrov said it. They admitted it. The Russian ambassadors openly said it. Just a reminder, the late great President Jimmy Carter predicted that Felon 34 would be declared to be an illegitimate president. You trust Carter's predictions? Jimmy Carter was an amazing man. He really was. And Gavin Newsom's going forward in a suit against Fox and Jesse Waters. Yeah, there is something that we need to read about with that Wall Street Journal thing. So as far as Biden goes, somebody's giving him a gift. There is a gift coming, and he's really... I mean, how would you feel if you were Joe Biden? He never got credit. He never got credit. And I'll never forget making 20 to 15-minute each videos when I was so angry that they were bashing him with his cancer diagnosis. They were just, nothing like kicking you down when you're down. Oh, you have bad aggressive cancer? Oh, let's kick you. Let's make it worse. And so I made those 22 videos that are under the videos. 15 minutes each, reading all the Biden-Harris achievements. It's a huge list. So I'm sure that Joe Biden, I mean, it's unbelievable that we don't know how much he did for this country, along with Kamala Harris. It boggles my brain. But, and so this is saying, you know, and then there's Dumpy turning us into a fascist regime, trying to. Did you watch all those? And if you just watch one or two, you'll be like, wow, thanks for reading that, Annette. It took me like 3 hours. Because nobody knew. Because the news wouldn't cover what Biden and Harris were doing. It was unbelievable. So this is Biden hoping that he doesn't die without this being turned around, basically. Yeah, so Christian of them to treat Biden like that. Heavy sarcasm, yeah. That's pretty heavy sarcasm. But there's some kind of a gift coming to Joe Biden. So I'm wondering if that has to do with justice happening. Well, Joe Biden, the way things are right now, will he be able to see justice happen? I have a yes on that. I have a yes on that. How many millions more would have died if Trump had not lost to Biden-Harris? Yeah, from COVID. Joe Biden saved our lives. When he got into office, we were dropping like flies. People all around us. I mean, that was... Yeah. It was... The pandemic hadn't even been going on for a year. And that's when we had those horrible strains. Like, you get it, you're dead. And you killed the people around you. Unbelievable. And Dumpy's now he's trying to force the Washington Commanders and the Cleveland Guardians to take back their old racist names. If it walks like a racist and it talks like a racist, it's a racist. Okay, so let's ask about Kamala. I always get that she's doing something behind the scenes to address all of this. The question, Carl is asking, if and when Kamala or any Dem POTUS gets in, will we be holding on by a thread? That's a good question. We're going to be struggling. We're going to be struggling, but I do get that we're going to make it through. And the thing that I feel like causes us to make it through this is that people they really start to feel the pain. Yeah. Yeah, because they have no regard. I mean, this fascist regime has -0 regard for human life. They don't care about your life. They don't care about my life. They don't care about anybody's lives unless that person's life can benefit them in some way. If they can capitalize on it. And not for anything, but I feel like, oh, Michelle lost her dad and uncle to COVID. It's so tragic. So sorry. I feel like every time I think about these horrible, horrible people, that if I can just go to gratitude that I don't have the capacity within my being to even practice like a microscopic amount of that cruelty, like Ron DeFascist, for instance. I can't comprehend that level, having that level of cruelty. So, in a certain way, I'm grateful that that wasn't my life. I wouldn't want to be Jeff Bezos. Lisa watched all of those videos of the Biden-Harris. Really? Thank you for watching them. It's under the videos. Kamala. Kamala, Kamala, Kamala. I always get from my guides that the people are going to turn this around. The people are going to turn this around. And it will be around the time, I mean, we're really going to see it, and it's starting to happen already when the prices start to skyrocket. Michelle, they're sending you, everyone here is sending you lots of love. And pray that there aren't any pandemics. Yeah, many people's cause of death was listed as something other than COVID. Yeah, it's despicable. Despicable. Kamala, 6 of Cups, Strength, 9 of Pentacles. I don't think I'd get the Strength card if she was just going to be a shrinking little violet wallflower. And the 6 of Cups. I'm kind of feeling some hints of January 6, 2021. Which surprises me. Because I hadn't really been thinking about that coming back. Let me ask this, speaking of things coming back, is Dumpy afraid that the Mueller report would be coming back? Because, and I'll ask Kathy Beal if this, because there's a lot of retrograde going on right now, which means revisiting things, right? So I wonder if Dumpy is going to back to the Mueller report, because it feels like he's doing this because he's trying to like cut him off at the pass, right? He's trying to build a fake story around what happened with his criminality that he didn't get held accountable for, almost as though he's gotten wind that it's going to come back to haunt him. Is that going on? Is that what's going on? Yes. Mr. Siegel agrees with me. You got that right. I think it's a female seagull. She's way, way up there on the telephone pole. Dad, math joke. 10 is 11. I can't see that. Read the dad joke. I heard it was good. Has Dumpy gotten wind that his crimes are going to come back? Yes. Okay, so this is what's going on. All right. He's obsessing. And so he's going to the old big crimes, big felonies of big giant crimes, and he's making sure that he uses AI and he makes a brand new fake story, and he's banking on deceiving his MAGA base. But the problem is the MAGA base is mad at him. So I know we're going a little over an hour, but I do want to read, and thanks for sticking around. I do want to read on the Wall Street Journal situation before we go. Let's do that. He's getting paranoid. Yeah, it's so sad. People are reporting people that in their family that died from COVID. That was a horrible, horrible time. And Joe Biden, like a loving grandfather that had the ability to do something about it, got in there and made it stop. Dad joke. Billy Joel has finally been released from prison. Turns out he didn't start the fire. That's funny. Okay. Thomas, we so appreciate you. Okay, so we're going to pull 3 cards on what's going to happen with the... seeing if I can read what the seagull's saying. What's going to happen with the Rupert Murdoch thing? See, because I don't think that the Wall Street Journal would have published that picture of the birthday card with the naked sketch of a lady. I don't think Rupert Murdoch would have done that. She wants in on the conversation. If they didn't have a plan. It's complicated. 8 of Wands. Something's going to happen quickly. We'll have to read on this more in depth on Wednesday. And if I do get over my attitude and do some pop-ups, I'll do it then. The 8 of Wands, this is about Rupert Murdoch and the Wall Street Journal. It feels like they have a plan and they're planning to enact it quickly. And I keep getting that. And the reason I'm saying that I think we need to read more on this tomorrow or the next day is that there's definitely a plan being schemed behind the scenes to what they do when Dumpy leaves, and they're planning on Dumpy leaving soon. I'll just put it that way. And the 4 of Cups is there's an opportunity here for Murdoch. He's not going to do the right thing, but the 2 of Swords, it's kind of going to hang in the balance, but for a little while. Like, we're not going to hear about what's going to happen with Dumpy suing Murdoch for $20 billion, was it? It's always billions. Billions and billions. They're making a plan behind the scenes as to what to do, because it seems like they think that Dumpy's not going to be there much longer. J.D. Vance went to Montana. I met with them before article came out. Yeah, there's something going on. And Kathy Beale and I talked about that last Wednesday night. So watch that video if you haven't watched it. We started with that. We were talking. She was asking me questions. Sometimes I invite Kathy to be the questioner, and then she gives us lots of astrological data too. Yeah, billions of dollars. So isn't that interesting? Okay, so as to not make this too terribly long, the seagulls are saying, see you later. If you remember, I'm going to start a new series this week called How to how to be empowered. And please book a reading and know that all your financial support goes a long, long way to keeping this channel afloat and to keeping me afloat. That's for sure. And yeah, they're planning some evil doing, that is true. But we're going to stop it. All right. I love you lots. Please hit the thumbs up on the way out. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll start the new series for members tomorrow. Oh, and Maria mailed me a package. Members, there's a psychic party on Saturday. It's going to be at 8 o'clock rather than 7 because I get home from Salem kind of late. So it's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern this coming Saturday night. All right. I'll see you soon. Seagulls are really loud tonight. Namaste. Keep your chin up and smile. Bye.